If you have spent hours chasing legendary items, refining builds, and diving into dark dungeons in the world of Sanctuary, you know exactly what it is like to get hooked on a solid action RPG. Diablo 4 captured something specific. That compelling blend of dark atmosphere, frantic combat, and the eternal search for power. But what happens when you have already explored every corner of hell and want more? The good news is that the genre has never been more active, and there are new titles that will provide that same experience for Demon Hunters. I have put together a list of 10 new games that every Diablo 4 fan should check out. I'm Matthew, and the video starts now.
Loot as you please. Strip these dying realms.
Titan Quest II does not attempt to mimic Blizzard. However, it demonstrates why players appreciate classic ARPGs. A journey with a clear beginning, middle, and end. Set in Greek mythology, you face Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, who has corrupted the threads of fate. There are no endless seasons, battle passes, or cosmetic shops here. The focus is on a single-player adventure with optional co-op, and a narrative that respects your time. The class system offers significant depth for theory crafting. You select 2 masteries from several options, such as War, Chaos, Earth, Storm, or Spirit, and combine them to create a unique hybrid class. You want a warrior who summons ancestral spirits? That is possible. A storm mage who also wields a 2-handed hammer? That works too. The skill tree has been redesigned with meaningful branches. There are separate points for attributes and passives, and crafting allows for significant item modification. It offers the build depth often missed in the genre without the overwhelming complexity of Path of Exile. Combat has modernized the original mechanics. It now features active shield blocking, a dodge roll, and increased fluidity. Enemies form factions and coordinate attacks. Archers flank you while tanks hold the front line, and shamans buff allies, meaning you cannot simply spam one button. The Divine Mount, Arian, carries you through the interconnected open world, no linear maps, and exploration rewards players with secrets, dungeons, and vistas rendered with surprising beauty by Unreal Engine 5. The early access version launched in August 2025 on Steam and the Epic Games Store, with PS5 and Xbox Series versions confirmed for the 1.0 release, expected at the end of 2026. Grimlore Games, the same team behind Spellforce 3, has been transparent, stating the game will remain in early access to receive new masteries, campaign acts, balancing, and quality of life updates. It already runs with DLSS and frame generation, making it accessible even on modest hardware. Best of all, 0 microtransactions, as promised by the studio.
Develop your playstyle in preparation for the challenges ahead.
If you enjoy Diablo 4, there is a new title that warrants your attention: Deskrawl Idle ARPG. To be clear, it does not attempt to compete in the same frantic pace of a traditional ARPG. The approach here is different, more relaxed and structured as an idle experience, while maintaining the core satisfaction of looting, building, and watching character power scale to extreme levels. This design approach is noteworthy for its potential to become highly engaging. The most striking aspect of Deskrawl is how it blends classic ARPG elements with idle mechanics. It is designed to run in the background while you perform other tasks, without losing focus on progression and rewards. You defeat monsters, farm loot, and capture enemies to assist you, stacking power until the character progression feels significantly elevated. It captures the fantasy of becoming powerful, common in Diablo, while removing the pressure of constant, active engagement. Another notable aspect is that the game provides various heroes with distinct styles, allowing for experimentation with builds, equipment, minions, and abilities. Additionally, enemies, including bosses, can be captured, which alters the dynamic as they become part of your progression rather than simply being defeated. Combined with crafting, re-rolling, and item upgrade systems, the game provides a consistent sense of improvement. I also found the concept of the city evolving as you progress to be effective. You start at a simple outpost and unlock NPCs, services, and new ways to advance. This creates a sense of progression that extends beyond combat, as each step unlocks more layers for your build and farm cycle. For those who enjoy a challenge, there are trials, timed modes, and increasing difficulties. So it does not feel like a static idle game. On the contrary, it encourages optimization, adjustment, and the pursuit of the next power spike. I view Deskrawl Idle ARPG as a suitable game for those who enjoy the dopamine of loot, but desire a lighter, more practical experience with its own identity. It does not replace Diablo 4, but it can occupy a specific niche in a player's routine. An ARPG that is always active, consistently advancing, and providing rewards. If you enjoyed Diablo 4 and feel the genre needs a shift in identity, Carbon is a title you should consider. Developed by Hardwire Studios, a team of industry veterans and ARPG enthusiasts, the game is an isometric sci-fi action RPG set in a dystopian future Earth where human life is valued less than its components. It differentiates itself from standard cyberpunk titles through its atmosphere and a focus on choices that impact gameplay. The primary progression choice in Carbon is critical. Cyberware, technological augmentation, or genware, biological mutation. This decision is not merely aesthetic. It redefines your combat style, abilities, tactical options, and character construction. You can be a warrior with modified limbs and plasma weapons, a mutant with claws and poisons, or a radical combination of both. This depth of build construction recalls Diablo and Path of Exile, but with a distinct sci-fi identity. The skill system is robust. You construct your path to power through a passive skill tree with 18 unique thematic specializations, each opening new combos, synergies, and power paths. The game features fast, intense hack-and-slash combat with heat management systems, shields, and mechanics that require active attention rather than button spamming. Procedurally generated levels increase replayability, and there is co-op support. The world is immersive, featuring a cyberpunk aesthetic that blends neon decay, ruins of an abandoned Earth, and post-apocalyptic orbital cities. The story focuses on a bounty hunter navigating a world dominated by megacorporations, facing unpredictable enemies and mutants while attempting to survive on a planet rendered hostile by a terraforming accident. It is dystopian and provides a narrative weight where every mission feels relevant. If you seek a game that blends the depth of Diablo with a unique identity, meaningful choices, and a heavy cyberpunk atmosphere, Carbon should be on your list. Developed by Moonbeast Productions, a studio formed by veterans who worked on the first two titles of the Diablo franchise, Philip Shank, Peter Hu, and Eric Schaefer, Darkhaven is an isometric dark fantasy ARPG that features a procedurally generated, fully destructible, and modifiable world. The demo has been available on Steam since February 2026 with 78% mostly positive reviews, and the game will launch in early access on PC. The core innovation of Darkhaven is this persistent dynamic world. You can dig tunnels, drain lakes, redirect lava flows, destroy mountains, build forts, bridges, and entire cities. And these changes remain in the shared world. It functions similarly to a hybrid of Diablo 2 and Minecraft, but designed specifically for an ARPG. The terrain is not just background. It is part of the combat, exploration, and progression. You utilize the environment tactically, climbing walls for height advantage, creating lava moats, opening new routes in dungeons, and the world remembers your battles. Craters, ruins, and evidence of invasions remain. Combat is tactical and skill-based with free movement. You can jump, climb, swim, slide, and walk on water, providing a depth not found in traditional isometric ARPGs. Enemies possess distinct AI, unique abilities, and require the player to read opponents, reposition, and use skills at the correct moment. Itemization moves away from the balanced banality of minor percentages. Drops can be genuinely powerful, and rare items remain viable long after the expected power range, inspiring real builds rather than obvious choices. The item system includes relics, runes, and rune words, and set items that define builds. inspired by the essence of Diablo 2, but with next-generation mechanics. Darkhaven features a solo campaign, online co-op, and PvP modes, in addition to world events that can transform the environment to the point where the realm can be captured by the forces of evil and destroyed, forcing you to start in a new world while retaining your character. The world is generated with ecological rules that connect biomes and points of interest, creating a living, coherent realm where exploration is more than a path to the next group of monsters. If you seek a game that blends itemization inspired by Diablo 2, the interface and sense of progression from Diablo 4, and the world design of Path of Exile, but with unique terrain and construction mechanics, Darkhaven belongs on your list. If you liked Diablo 4 and enjoy the cozy nature of Stardew Valley, Emberville, created by Cygnus Cross, is a title that blends both. It is a pixel art ARPG with Diablo-style combat and town restoration mechanics. The game has over 127,000 wishlists on Steam and will arrive in early access on PC in the third quarter of 2026. The core concept is you awaken without memory in Vitro Modus, an infinite magical underground prison where death is not the end. Your mission is to escape, discovering the secret of a mysterious energy called chemia, which is fueled by emotions. As you advance, you save survivors and bring them to your city, which begins as a fragile outpost and grows into a full settlement with construction, resources, and agriculture. The cycle is effectively Diablo plus Stardew. You clear dungeons and farm loot, then return to the city to rebuild, cultivate, and expand. Combat is a fluid, inter-class action system with dungeon crawling similar to Diablo, procedural dungeons, challenging bosses, and skill progression that rewards skill and positioning rather than just stat checking. It is a progression that combines the tension of an ARPG with a sense of constant advancement without the frustration of losing everything upon death. If you want a game that maintains the loot, dungeon, and boss grind of Diablo 4, but removes the pressure of constant optimization while adding farming and town management, Emberville should be on your list.
Vanquished. Don't resist. It'll be quicker that way.
These empty houses with nothing but sorrow and shadows in them. I see you're confused. Ignore the clouding in your mind. The villagers need your help.
Created by Wilson Studio, the team behind Wilson, Lords of Mayhem, Gods, Death and Reapers was officially revealed at Gamescom 2025 as a free-to-play extraction ARPG for PC. It features an isometric view and frantic hack-and-slash combat reminiscent of Diablo and Path of Exile, but with a core mechanic, an extraction system. You are recruited by Death herself, in a post-apocalyptic world beyond life where the gods have died and chaos reigns. The story begins in Norse mythology, but the game will eventually embrace other realms, such as Aztec mythology. Each area is a dystopian mythological domain, where you must explore, farm loot, and attempt to escape alive to secure your items. If you die during the mission, you lose everything. This high-stakes loot system makes Gods, Death and Reapers a game of high risk and high reward. Combat is isometric, frantic, and does not use fixed classes. Your abilities are defined by the weapon you wield. Dual axes are fast and aggressive, massive hammers cause area of effect damage but are slow, and each weapon unlocks different skills and synergies. This allows for builds based on weapons and combat styles rather than fixed classes, offering flexibility similar to the freedom sought in Diablo 2, but with modern extraction mechanics. The game features dynamic PvPvE. You fight monsters, enemies, and other players, and each incursion is a unique match where allies may become rivals the moment someone attempts to extract with loot. Gods, Death and Reapers is free to play, with a closed alpha on Steam that ran until November 2025 and a full launch expected in 2026. The creators plan additional modes, such as a story mode, lower intensity without the risk of losing equipment, and PvE co-op. The game includes anti-cheat to maintain fair PvP, and the developers are incorporating lessons from Wolcen regarding progression and balancing. If you want an ARPG that maintains the loot grind and hack and slash combat of Diablo 4, but adds the tension of an extraction shooter, God's Death and Reapers should be on your list.
To rebuild my domain. Your sanctuary will become a new afterlife. What we build now will restore the balance, restore order. My order.
If you enjoyed Diablo 4 and feel the need for something faster, more aggressive, and with a unique visual identity, Greyskin deserves your attention. Developed by Green Goo Games, a small Croatian studio from Zagreb, Greyskin is a dungeon crawler ARPG in the style of a top-down shooter, retaining the isometric view and the spirit of an ARPG, but with combat that blends shooter fluidity with RPG progression. The premise is straightforward. You are a ruthless rat inhabiting an underground world called home, and your mission is to explore a strange, dark world of weird fiction, descend into the depths, face hordes of monsters, and uncover the secrets of the place. You mutate, evolve, farm loot, shoot, and repeat in a loot, shoot, upgrade cycle that is both classic and innovative. Instead of only attacking with swords and magic, you use varied weapons and skills that blend shooting and hardcore action. Combat is fast-paced and skill-oriented, with energy systems, timing, and resources that require careful action management. You choose from 4 different classes, each with its own playstyle, skill tree, and exclusive upgrades, which you manage at a terminal in your base. The item system is deterministic and deep, with legendary and unique items, crafting, and customization that allow for distinct builds. The world is handcrafted, with open areas, dungeons, caves, secrets, and vendors, while dungeons are procedural. You face hordes of normal monsters, elites, and unique enemies, and each act features a final boss that advances the narrative and provides new abilities. The game includes endgame unlocks, a competitive ladder, and post-campaign activities. The Dark West is an isometric ARPG inspired by Diablo and Path of Exile, but with a distinct setting, a dark, cursed version of the Wild West. Its main differentiator is the character customization system using poker-style decks, a mechanic not found in traditional ARPGs. In addition to classic talent trees, you collect cards and poker hands that activate hidden abilities, create synergies, and define unique builds, which are essential for surviving hordes of enemies fueled by black magic and occult rituals. The story revolves around a cursed frontier where faith is weak and hope is rare, and you must fight to be the last survivor between 2 factions, the Order and the Damned, born from blood rituals and occultism. The world exists in perpetual twilight, with cursed villages, abandoned mines, and eternal dusks. The power system is based on power at a cost. For example, alcohol strengthens your character but clouds your perception, making every decision potentially dangerous. Combat is fast, tactical, brutal, and strategic, utilizing firearms, daggers, and dynamic abilities. The developers aim to combine the immersion and world building of Diablo 2 with the modern itemization and progression of Path of Exile. The game avoids loot filters, meaning you must navigate loot manually, which makes each drop more valuable and each upgrade decision more significant. If you loved Diablo 4 and enjoy the dopamine hit of killing, looting, and becoming more powerful, but feel you need something that dares to be different, Gravebound by Creator Studios should be on your radar. While not a traditional isometric ARPG, it takes the loop we enjoy, farm, improve, repeat, and places it within a post-apocalyptic extraction shooter that is chaotic, vibrant, and dangerous. The premise is that the error of humanity was not nuclear war, but giving Wi-Fi to household appliances. The Earth is now scrap, robots have gone insane, and you face everything from kamikaze toasters to tank fridges and microwave snipers. The world is called the Shatterlands, a post-apocalyptic setting where humanity attempts to survive. Visually, the game utilizes a comic aesthetic reminiscent of Borderlands, with vibrant colors and character designs full of personality. The gameplay loop will engage those who enjoy Diablo. You enter dangerous zones, scavenge valuable loot, fight hordes of machines and other players, and must make the defining decision: extract with what you have secured or dive deeper for greater rewards. If you die, you lose your equipment. It is a system of high risk and high reward, similar to deciding to face a boss in Diablo without knowing if you will survive. Combat features fast gunplay with survival mechanics, supporting co-op for up to 6 players. You hunt for immense power crystals, face robots obsessed with destroying humanity, and compete with other scavengers. Progression is found in the gear you extract, the powerful weapons you find, and how you construct your loadout between incursions. It is a build system, but with firearms and post-apocalyptic gadgets instead of magic and swords. Gravebound has a demo available on Steam and is entering early access. Creator Studios plans an early access cycle of 10 to 18 months, indicating their intent to polish the game with the community before the final launch. If you want to experience the one more run compulsion that Diablo 4 provided in a chaotic shooter package with eccentric robots, add it to your wish list and test the demo. The approach of Fatekeeper differs from typical isometric ARPGs. You are a mysterious protagonist exploring the archipelago of Solus, searching for an ancient civilization called the Underdwellers, only to find ancient cities occupied by orcs, monsters, and fortresses. Combat is tactical, physical, and brutal, involving swords, axes, arcane magic, and relics that you master throughout the game. Progression is based on an expansive skill tree, with spells, weapons, and upgrades that shape your destiny. The game features physics-based melee combat, not just button spamming, and a refined spellcasting system that requires timing and positioning. You face enemies with distinct techniques, strengths, and weaknesses, and each ruined sanctuary or forgotten battlefield tells a story of cataclysmic events. If you want an ARPG that maintains the build progression, loot, and tactical combat of Diablo 4, but with first-person combat, physics, magic, and a dark world, Fatekeeper is a title that should be on your list.